second consecutive term in office. Chief Clerk of Parliament David Forbes providing more insight on what to expect once the process gets underway on Wednesday, May 20th, beginning at 10 o'clock.
The Parliament will meet. Members of Parliament, that's House of Assembly and Senators, will take the oath of allegiance and oath of qualification. And they will do that in the respective chambers. Senators in the Senate and the members of the House of Assembly will do it in the House of Assembly. At the end of that process, the senators will elect someone to be the president of the Senate and the vice president of the Senate. Same thing will happen in the House of Assembly. Members of the House of Assembly will elect someone to be their speaker and someone to be their deputy speaker.
Once that process has been completed, members of the upper and lower chambers will assemble in Parliament Square for the centerpiece of the event, the speech from the throne, which will be delivered by the Governor-General.
Speech from the throne is written by the Prime Minister, and it will lay out his policies, which are documented in their plan that was circulated what they intend to do. These things would be put in the speech from the throne to solidify, because this is the roadmap for moving forward under this administration. They're telling you what they're going to do, and of course, they will either tell you what they're going to do for the next 2 or 3 years or for a 5-year period.
With time winding down before the big day, preparations are being finalized in Parliament Square.
The tents would be erected, and we'll have seating for close to 2,000 people. We're making sure that all of the media houses who would want to broadcast or televise will have access to what's going on in both chambers and what's going on in the square. So the Parliamentary channel, of course, will cover all of the proceedings inside both chambers, and they will give a feed to the rest of the press, the other media houses. And of course, BAIC or ZNS will then give us a feed of what's taking place on the outside.
Security will also be strictly enforced during the opening of Parliament. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Surrounding ceremonies for key Parliament representatives will continue tomorrow at Government House. The ceremonies have spanned several days, with senior and junior cabinet ministers taking the oath of allegiance, oath of office, and receiving their instruments of appointments. Yesterday, the Devs administration completed its cabinet appointments with the swearing in at Government House of 8 substantive ministers and 7 ministers of state, and brought the total number of cabinet ministers to 28 for this second term. Devs administration. Meantime, members of the upper chamber also sworn in include Minister of Economic Affairs Jerome Fitzgerald, Minister of Social Services Barbara Cartwright, and Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Wayne Monroe. Leader of the official opposition Michael Pintard will also be sworn in tomorrow. The ceremony will be carried live over the ZNS network. Well, following her appointment as Minister of Labor, Public Service and National Insurance, Honorable Pia Glover-Roll says she's eager to get back to work, certain that her expertise in the areas of the portfolio will enhance her plans for the ministry's first 100 days.
I already know the portfolio, so I'm of course familiar, and the work continues with our labor legislation in terms of getting that across the line. That's going to be exciting. We're also looking at some accommodations matters, moving our ministries into more modern accommodations. National insurance, I am going to go in there, do the necessary analysis, look at our blueprint for change, our blueprint for progress, and start to get to work. Of course, meet with our Prime Minister and understand what the goals are and start to steadily work towards those goals.
With the unemployment rate remaining at 9%, Glover-Roll says she's also focused on tackling the issue of youth unemployment and ensuring young Bahamians are provided with the adequate platform to enhance their skills.
We've launched Opportunity Hub, which provides Upskill Bahamas, which provides DigiLearn, because we have seen that young people are not employed in traditional jobs because they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to do the work for themselves. So we've provided and facilitated that through Opportunity Hub and allowing them to expand their skills at the government's expense. And of course, I think it will be at the government's value once our young people across our nation gain new skills.
Well, she's been elected as a member of Parliament for Seabreeze for the second consecutive term, and for the first time, the Honorable Leslie Miller Leslie Miller-Bryce has been appointed to cabinet, now taking on the post as Minister of Culture, Arts and Heritage. The newly minted minister says she's humbled Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis selected her to take on the ministry, and she feels she's well suited for the role.
With my experience with leading the independence celebrations and having engaged the creatives and members of the orange economy, this ministry falls in line with what I've been doing in the past. I am a junkanoo. I grew up in the junkanoo shacks. I am a cultural enthusiast, and so I'm excited to be able to lead this ministry. It's new, and so I haven't read much of the portfolio as yet, but I'm ready to take on the task in whatever direction I'm led to lead.
The new Minister of Social Services, Barbara Cartwright, says her focus will be on reducing poverty in the country now that she's taking on the role. Cartwright says she became aware of the extent of the problem some years ago while working in the community.
We are trying to reduce poverty in the country, and I believe I can, with everyone's help, do a good job with reducing that poverty level. I've been involved in assisting persons for a very long time, from the B.J. Nottage era in Bain and Grantstown, and that's when I recognized the need, and I've continued on through being the Secretary General of the Progressive Liberal Party, and COVID was a big challenge for the country, and again, we took a great initiative by making sure people were fed, because we didn't think that the food was distributed in the right way at that time. So we did our own food distribution throughout the islands. And so I know that the need was great then, and while it's reduced, I think we could still do a better job of reducing poverty in the country.
The newly appointed Minister of Innovation and National Development, the Honorable Sebastian Bastian, says his focus and that of the newly created ministry will be on the practical execution of the National Development Plan. He says a key priority will be preparing the Bahamas for a future-driven economy built on innovation, efficiency, and modernization. Minister Bastian adding that a central part of the ministry's mandate will be to ensure government operations become faster, smarter, and more efficient in delivering services to the public.
We're going to continue to work on with the members on that committee to fine-tune the plan, but we're going to get to work and start to execute the National Development Plan, as well as any national projects that the Prime Minister deems a priority at this time.
A message of congratulations has been extended to Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis following his re-election to office. His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, and the Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia sent a formal cable conveying his best wishes to the nation's chief. In the message, the Crown Prince extended sincere congratulations to Mr. Davis on his electoral victory and wished him continued success in office. He also expressed hopes for ongoing progress and prosperity for the people of the Bahamas, underscoring the friendly relations between both nations. Well, coming up, a fire breaks out at an abandoned building across from Golden Isles Road today. Details straight ahead. Don't miss it.
The opening of Parliament, filled with pomp and circumstance and steeped in tradition. Wednesday, May 20th, the nation's attention will focus on downtown Nassau as the government lays out its legislative agenda for the new session and foreshadows its national objectives in the speech from the throne. Join the ZNS Network for live coverage of this all-important event. The opening of Parliament, Wednesday, May 20th, beginning at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television and Radio Network and streaming on our YouTube and Facebook platforms.
More than 200 of the world's leading climate scientists will gather in the capital this week for what is being billed as the largest climate change conference ever hosted in the Caribbean. The high-level meeting gets underway tomorrow morning at the British Colonial Hotel downtown Nassau, bringing together international experts focused on the growing impact of climate change, including rising sea levels, stronger hurricanes, coastal erosion, and the increasing threat to small island states like the Bahamas. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is expected to deliver the keynote address, setting the tone for discussions throughout the week. Officials say the conference highlights the Bahamas' expanding role in global climate policy and its continued push for stronger international support for climate-vulnerable nations. The gathering will continue over the coming days with scientists and policymakers working to develop strategies aimed at addressing the urgent realities of a warming world. An abandoned building erupting into flames early today across from Golden Isles Road. Firefighters moved quickly to bring the blaze under control, containing the fire before it could spread to nearby structures. Fire officials confirming the fire has since been fully extinguished with no threat to surrounding homes or businesses. No injuries reported. With rising temperatures during the summer months, officials are once again warning that hot, dry conditions can quickly increase the risk of fires, especially in abandoned buildings and overgrown areas. Residents are being urged to remain vigilant, properly dispose of waste, and report any smoke or fire activity immediately. Investigations continue. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force strengthening its maritime front line with the graduation of a new group of highly trained boatswain mates. 12 Marines successfully completed the intensive course designed to sharpen leadership, operational readiness, and safety across the Royal Bahamas Defense Force fleet. The training pushed participants beyond basic seamanship, exposing them to advanced shipboard operations, emergency response procedures, vessel maintenance, and crisis management at sea. Royal Bahamas Defense Force officials say the program plays a critical role in preparing Marines to lead under pressure and ensure vessels remain mission ready during demanding maritime operations. Under the leadership of Commander Defense Force Commodore Floyd Moxey, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force continues to focus on modernization, professional development, and building the next generation of maritime leaders. Officials adding that the newly certified boatswain mates now carry the responsibility of helping to ensure every vessel operates safely and every Marine returns home safely. An historic moment for Bahamian music and youth talent, now gaining major corporate backing. CIBC Caribbean becoming the first corporate sponsor to support and sponsor the Bahamas All-Star Band, following the group's landmark invitation to perform in the 41st London New Year's Day Parade in 2027. The selection places the Bahamas All-Star Band in the international spotlight, becoming the first band from the Bahamas and the wider Caribbean region ever invited to the world-renowned event. Held annually in London, the parade attracts massive global attention, drawing hundreds of thousands of spectators and millions more through international television coverage. CIBC Caribbean officials say the investment reflects the bank's commitment to empowering young people and supporting national development through culture and education. Band director Yonel Distillion says the opportunity represents years of discipline, teamwork, and dedication by the students, adding that the experience will help shape future leaders through music and the arts. The bank's early support is expected to assist with travel expenses and the extensive preparations required for the international appearance. For the Bahamas All-Star Band, the road to London is now officially underway, carrying Bahamian pride, culture, and talent onto one of the world's biggest stages. Observed around the world on May 16th, International Day of the Boychild, shines a spotlight on the physical and mental well-being of boys, encouraging confidence, positive development, and healthy self-esteem. In the Bahamas, the observance was marked with a special boys forum, bringing young men together to speak, inspire, and uplift one another, focused on adopting positive habits and personal growth. International Men's Day President Henry Higgins.
No, I don't think they're celebrating enough. I think we always show the negative that boys do. And I'm a firm believer, and I know that there are more positive things that happen in our country with boys. And I think it is important for us to bring it to the forefront. And so that is our mandate. I believe that the press can help us, social media can help us, and all the other things, all the other areas can help us to make sure that the good things that our boys are doing are highlighted.
Well, students attending the forum echoed that same sentiment, with student Shaheen Cass saying many boys are often judged based on the actions of a few, despite the difficult personal circumstances many of them face.
I really think that we really need to move more with the boys, because everybody looks down on the boys because the fighting and all of that. But I do believe that we need to have more programs for the boys to even help them out, because there's some boys who even has not even good even family where they could even depend on. And for them to come to school and even look at a teacher and say that's like a father figure to me, I feel like that's a good thing. And I believe we should even encourage the boys more, because we discourage them from just posting all about fights and, oh, boys ain't doing this, none of that. But I feel like we need to support them more, even through a daily basis.
My message to all of our men is that let's be good examples for our boys. Let's be the role models. Don't let the basketball players, the NBA players and the football players and the drug dealers on the streets be the role model. I'm saying the father, you be the role model in your son, for your son. When your son is asked, who is my role model, they should easily say, my father.
Well, some sage advice. Sports is up next.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end.
Let's swim Bahamas. Water safety rule number 6. Open water swimming. Always swim in line with the shore. Do not get out of your depth.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end. Water hazards to an end.
I'm Wayne Wilson, and welcome to Sports Sunday. Top in sports, Member of Parliament-elect Mario Bowleg once again returns as Minister of Youth and Sports, as cabinet appointments were announced following the recent general elections. Swinging to other sports news, we had the opportunity of covering the Duke of Edinburgh Cup semifinals at Ocean Club Golf Course, where we got the chance to interview event organizer John Fowler on the purpose of this event.
Well, Atlantis has been organizing this tournament for the last 25 years, and the goal of this tournament is to liaise with different corporate sponsors in the Bahamas to gain as much sponsorship as we can to benefit the GGYA and our new beneficiary, the Bahamas All-Stars.
Platinum sponsor for today's event is Scotiabank. Taking time from his busy schedule to compete in the event was Managing Director of Scotiabank, Roger Archer, who stressed the importance of his company sponsoring events just like these.
So as you know, Atlantis and Scotiabank, we have a relationship that goes way, way back. And this gave us the opportunity to work with Atlantis to give back to the community. We are very big on investing in the youth. We want to make sure that the future of the Bahamas is secure. That's one of the reasons, as an example, you see that we sponsor Junior John Canoe. We've been doing that for the last, I think, 2 or 3 years. We've increased our sponsorship prize last year, and we're excited about giving back. This is what we do. We love to give back.
Circling back to yesterday's seminar, we got to listen in and get some words from guest speaker and former University of Kansas track and field head coach Ron Boyce.
First of all, I know there's a place for everybody. Not everyone belongs at that bigger school. The bigger schools, of course, can have better experiences. They've got more money. They've got more facility. They've got more resources. So why not shoot for a star? But it's okay if you miss and land on the moon. Like the smaller schools, it's okay to do that, because everybody belongs somewhere, and that smaller school might be a fit for the individual who may not be as confident, the individual who has no idea what he or she's doing because they haven't been doing it for a very long time, you know? So there's no shame in going to a school of lesser, quote-unquote, pedigree or name. Really, that's all it is, because at the end of the day, the 4-year degree is a 4-year degree. At the end of the day, you run 10 seconds flat, it's still 10 seconds flat, so you can succeed at any level, but the bigger schools will have more pull. But no, I don't shame or frown on anyone that might go and take a different route. I advise them to take a look anyway. But once you leave and go to the United States or off to college or wherever you are, you know, you're setting up the next 4 years or 5 years can very well determine the rest of your life. So it's very important, physically, mentally, spiritually. So choosing a school that will fit you more so than you fit that school is extremely, extremely important.
Once again, this is Wayne Wilson, ZNS Weekend Sports.
The opening of Parliament, filled with pomp and circumstance and steeped in tradition. Wednesday, May 20th, the nation's attention will focus on downtown Nassau as the government lays out its legislative agenda for the new session and foreshadows its national objectives in the speech from the throne. Join the ZNS Network for live coverage of this all-important event. The opening of Parliament, Wednesday, May 20th, beginning at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television and Radio Network and streaming on our YouTube and Facebook platforms.
Time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. We have a stationary frontal trough just across the extreme southeast Bahamas, and that's firing up some showers and thunderstorms in the vicinity of Inagua and the Turks and Caicos Islands. As well, we have some spotty showers, mainly over the open waters of the Bahamas, and those showers are all drifting towards the west. Outside of our studios, we have patchy clouds, temperature 84 degrees, the relative humidity 72%. We have easterly winds at 12 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars, that's 30.07 inches, and the pressure is steady. Now your temperatures around the islands, 82 degrees in Marshall, Barbacoa, Greentoll Key at 85 degrees also in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands at 82. Alice Bimini, 83 degrees, 82 in Harbour Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 83, 85 in Otterstown, Cat Island, Black Point, Exuma, 84, also Camps Bay, South Andros at 84 degrees. Central Andros, that's Fresh Creek, they have a temperature of 82 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 85, and that extends into Rum Key and also in San Salvador. 82s again in Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Acklands, Rycat Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island at 85. Another 85 in Matthew Town, Inagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 86 degrees. And your boating forecast for all areas tonight, easterly winds at 12 to 18 knots, the wave heights going to be around 3 to 6 feet. So we have a small craft caution in place for your boaters throughout the 700 islands. Now the high tide, that will take place at 9:13 tonight. And then tomorrow for all areas, once again, we have a slight clockwise rotation in our winds. It becomes east to southeast at 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet. High tide, 9:33 in the morning with the low tide at 3:38 in the afternoon. Satellite pictures showing that in Wooded Wee over the southeast Bahamas, and that's associated with a mid-level trophy, which is responsible for some of the showers that we have been experiencing over the past couple of days, a couple of with occasional cloudy conditions as well. However, that upper level low is pushing towards the east, so we'll see a little bit of clearing come tomorrow, but another system will be moving in to reinforce these summer-type showers. Now tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy and warm, a bit breezy. Otherwise, a thunderstorm in spot followed by a shower or two in spot later on tonight as well, with your low temperature falling off to 77 degrees. Now tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy in the morning with spotty showers and thunderstorms with an afternoon shower and thunderstorms also very likely. High temperature tomorrow, it's going to climb up to 85 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, those pop-up showers will be with us right through Friday. Very warm daytime conditions, upper 80s for the greater part of the day. And when you factor in the relative humidity, it's going to be very muggy. Those heat indices, they're going to be somewhere in the low triple digits. Now, come Saturday, we have another upper level trough. It's going to push just to the west of the Bahamas, and that will usher in some cloudy conditions, which will not last very long, because by Sunday, we'll see the sun poke out once again. But those temperatures, we'll see a 90-degree creeping up here on Sunday over the weekend. Nighttime temperatures, very muggy. We're looking at mid-70s throughout the next 7-day cycle. Desmond.
Thanks, Basil. That ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. Have a good night and a safe week.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.
Hey guys, it's your boy Landlord.